This is SME on Point. My name is Liabo Setho. Thank you so much for staying with SABC News. So we continue to celebrate Women's Month with a special focus of women in business. This week, we profile a business started because of a need for suitable nutrition. Nokwanda Shabalala decided to develop her own gluten-free cereal after her son showed an intolerance of most foods in the market. This is her story. It is edited by my colleague Mamodike. Shabalala was prompted to go into business and come up with a gluten-free cereal of her own after her son proved intolerant to gluten, which impacted on his well-being. Gluten is a protein found in wheat, barley and rye. A severe intolerance to it can lead to medical complications. Alternative foods solved the problem for Shabalala and her son, but the high cost became a concern.
So we then started going on a journey to understand where do we find food that would be still nutritious but doesn't contain these things so that he will start thriving. So luckily there were. 2012 is not too far from now, and so there were options. However, all imported and very expensive. Yeah.
Shabalala left her corporate job and started her journey with the aim of producing it locally and making it affordable.
And so within quite a short while, we had products, 3 products. This could be done. Now next, who's going to produce them? So that's the other thing around getting into an industry that is big, that's also capital extensive. So it's not a services business where it depends on you. So you could go in with just your network and deliver. Whereas here, there's goods that need to be manufactured, that need to be moved. There's money in all of this. And so we started looking for a contract manufacturer that would produce for us under contract, but under our specifications. It was a journey.
Although it was not all smooth sailing, such as challenges of getting the product onto retail shelves, but persistence eventually paid off with her products now available in stores. Shabalala says the environment is now ripe for women to go into business.
If you're a woman in South Africa at the moment, there are honest corporations that do want, as part of their agenda, to further women in business. And so it is a good space. It's just for you to get in there. But do not be fooled that just because you're a woman, they will, if you want to be listing products or you want them to produce for you, that they will. No, it just opens the door because they have an interest in supporting women. Now, once you get in there, you just have to not let the opportunity slip away. You've got to be prepared. You've got to have done your homework and knock it, because now you're in there.
With the economy largely open under lockdown level 2, businesses like True Earth are working to make up for lost time.
In parallel to getting back to basics, we are raising capital. We need to be able to, when things start picking up, be able to not say, well, I don't know if I can fulfill that order. No, we must fulfill that order. We must be on every shelf, and we're approaching more retailers.
Shabalala says she now is working on extending her range, looking beyond a breakfast meal with a healthy snack that she hopes will be enjoyed by all. Liabo Setho, SABC News, Johannesburg. Thank you, Nokwanda Shabalala, for sharing your story with SME on Point. A soft reminder to engage us with us on our Facebook page. Our handle is @SME on Point. I'd really love to hear from you of what you think of SME on Point and what you'd like to see us feature in the next coming weeks. Next week, we speak to, or rather not next week, but now we speak to Mamodike Makgoba, who is the CEO of a boutique accounting firm. It's called Balanced Books, and it offers accounting and business management services to small and medium-sized businesses. So since it's also tax season, Makgoba chats to us about the importance of being a tax-compliant business. Mamodike, thank you so much for speaking to us on SME on Point. Tell us about Balanced Books. You say it's a boutique accounting firm. What differentiates it from a normal accounting firm?
Hi, thanks, Liabo. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure being here. Yeah, so the boutique in my name, and I get asked this a lot. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, are you running a library? Do you sell books or do you sell clothes?" But basically, in the boutique name, for us, it speaks to tailor-made service. It says, you run your own business, you are in a different industry, the service that will offer you as Balance Books is specific to your industry. So we offer our clients tailored services to their needs. And like you mentioned, we specialize in accounting, tax, and payroll services. We mostly support small and medium-sized businesses, individuals. Tax season is here.
Yeah.
We also support individuals in that front, and we have a few corporate clients that we support. I mean, if you would appreciate, corporates would have an inside or in-house finance function. So there's other services that they're able to use small businesses like us. Yeah.
Mamodike, we are celebrating Women's Month this August. Tell us briefly about your journey as a woman getting into the accounting space. You are also a chartered accountant, so I know that there are many little young girls and all the other women who are looking into going into this space. Is it a relatively easy space to go into as a woman?
I think it is, Liabo. There's challenges. I think the accounting profession is not different to all the other industries, really. I mean, even when you look in corporate, where I spent most of my time in before I went into entrepreneurship, you see there isn't enough women in position of influence in corporate. You look at audit firms themselves who produce CAs in terms of the training part of the profession. We also don't see a lot of women in senior positions, consulting firms. I must say, though, we are seeing progress in that. And I think with many other industries where there's concerted effort to try to increase the number of women. I mean, you have institutions like SABC, the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants. If you look back to when I qualified a little over 10 years ago, women in general were like 27% of the total CA population. We're now sitting at 38%. It's still not where it should be, but we do recognize the improvement. There's organizations, again, like African Women Chartered Accountants, which advocates for meaningful inclusion of women in positions of influence, not just because we are capable, right? I think we need to get that right. Women are capable.
I'll agree with you there.
Yes, we are capable. And with AWCA, the main aim is to say, let's get women into meaningful positions. And the other thing they do is mentoring the younger ones. You referred to young girls that are looking up, mentoring the younger ones that are coming to say, we can't keep having excuses around the talent pool is not there. We're mentoring those young girls so that when the opportunities arise, they are able to take up the spaces.
And just lastly, before I let you go, Mamodike, let's talk briefly about what small businesses should be doing in order to ensure that they are tax compliant. It's tax season now, and this is one of the services that your boutique firm offers, the importance of being tax compliant as an entrepreneur or a small business owner. Quickly.
I think that is very important, and like you mentioned, not only tax compliant. I think as a business owner, you need to understand the industry you operate in. There may be other regulatory requirements. If you are in food, you need to know what are other requirements in there so that you are compliant across the board, not just in tax. It is important to be tax, because when opportunities come, you get asked for your tax compliance certificate. You don't want to be scratching around looking for that, making sure that you're compliant at that point in time, because that's when you get to miss opportunities. So, I mean, with COVID now, we've had a lot of people coming, 2 years had gone by without them looking at their books to say, we need to apply for COVID relief. Can you help us? And it will cost you when you don't keep them up to date, as you go along. And also keeping the books up to date. You know where your business is. It helps you to know, are you making money? But if you wait for 2 years, you really don't know where your business. So it's very important for opportunities to just keep all the aspects of your business up to date at all times. And that's the service we offer at Balance Books Boutique, to say, on a monthly basis. We get your records up to date. We get your tax up to date. Should opportunity arise, we really
everything is all in order. Mamodike, thank you so much for sharing your story with us on SME on Point, and I really do hope that most of our viewers, our female viewers who are considering going into the accounting space will definitely take up the courage now that they've heard you, that it is time for us as women to take meaningful positions in society and make our voices heard. That is all for SME on Point for this week. It's always a pleasure bringing you SME on Point on Fridays, but up next it's Nastasia Aronse with Books on Point. Please don't go away.